called the Hala La Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible. And I want to go straight in and basically go over Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and break it down. I got some precepts. Most High willing, it's edifying. So start Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise they seemed to die, and their departure is taken for misery. And their going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself. All right, let me get some of these precepts. Yeah. This is Isaiah 59, verse 15. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. For he saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness it sustained him. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate, and a helmet of salvation upon his head. And he put on the garments of vengeance for clothing, and was clad with zeal as a cloak. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay. Fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, saith the Lord. As for me, this is my covenant with them, saith the Lord. My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth, shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed's seed, saith the Lord, from henceforth and forevermore. That's how we know it's really it's really scoped in on the elect. It's only about the elect, right? This is 2 Samuel 4, verse 8. And they brought the head of Salakia. Let me get something real quick. Salakia. Put that down. This is 2 Samuel 4 and 8. And they brought the head of Ishbosheth unto David to Hebron, and said to the king, Behold, the head of Ishbosheth, the son of Saul thine enemy, which sought thy life, and the Lord hath avenged my lord the king this day of Saul and of his seed. And David answered Rechab and Baanah his brother, the sons of Ramon the Beerothite, and said unto them, As the Lord liveth, who hath redeemed my soul out of all adversity, when one told me, saying, Behold, Saul is dead, thinking to have brought good tidings, I took hold of him and slew him in Ziklag, who thought that I would have given him a reward for his tidings. How much more when wicked men have slain a righteous person in his own house upon his bed? Shall I not therefore now require his blood of your hand and take you away from the earth? And David commanded his young men, and they slew them, and cut off their hands and their feet, and hanged them up over the pool in Hebron. But they took the head of Ishbosheth and buried it in the sepulchre of Abner in Hebron. I wanted to get this going deeper into that. This is something I found at Barnes & Noble. It says it's all the names in the Bible. Thomas Nielsen. Yeah. So I need to go into Ishbosheth, right? It says Ishbosheth, man of shame. That's the translation. A son of Saul, whom Abner, Saul's captain, proclaimed king after Saul's death. 2 Samuel 2, 8 through 10. He escaped being slain in Saul's last battle, where both Saul and Jonathan died. The tribe of Judah proclaimed David king after the death of Saul and Jonathan at Gilboa, but the 11 other tribes remained loyal to Saul's family. Ishbosheth reigned 2 turbulent years from Mahanaim east of the Jordan River, while David ruled Judah from Hebron. Throughout the period, each side attempted unsuccessfully to gain control of the entire kingdom. 2 Samuel 2, 12, 3, 2 Samuel 2, chapter 2, verse 12 through 3, verse 1. Ishbosheth made a grave error in charging Abner with having relations with Saul's concubine, Rizpah. In anger, Abner changed his allegiance to David. 2 Samuel 3, verse 6 to 21. When Joab murdered Abner in Hebron. 2 Samuel 3, verse 27. Ishbosheth became discouraged. 2 Samuel 4, verse 1. 2 captains of his guard, Baanah and Rechab, assassinated Ishbosheth as he lay napping. They carried Ishbosheth's severed head to David, who ordered it buried in the tomb of Abner in Hebron. Then David put the assassins to death. 2 Samuel 4, chapter 4, verse 5 through 12. Saul's dynasty ended with Ishbosheth's death, right? And that's really going into Wisdom of Solomon, verse I'm gonna start back at the top. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and the departure is taken for misery, and they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. But this talking about the elect. But I want to bring that example out. For God proved them and found them worthy for himself. Like David found Ishbosheth worthy to, because he called him righteous. Right? But that's all the Most High is doing. Right? He said, how much more when wicked men have slain a righteous person in his own house upon his bed. Right? Okay. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself. And then we get Psalms 91 and see, I don't know what the right here. Okay, I don't know why it says that, but this is Psalms 94. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers, or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Unless the Lord, the Most High, had been my help, my soul had almost dwelt in silence. When I said, my foot slippeth, thy mercy, O Lord, held me up. In the multitude of my thoughts within me, thy comforts delight my soul. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? And that's talking about wickedness, right? They gathered themselves together against the souls of the righteous and condemned the innocent blood. And that's what happened to Ishbosheth, right? But the Lord, even though he was of the house of Saul, right? And it was prophesied that David would be the new king, right? And while David was rising up, Saul's let me just get it. It says 2 Samuel 3, verse 1. Now there was long war between the house of Saul and the house of David, but David waxed stronger and stronger, and the house of Saul waxed weaker and weaker. Right? So even though and then in 4, that's when Ishbosheth was assassinated. And then that's when in chapter 5, that's when King David, the son of Jesse, or just was made king over all Israel, right? So this is Psalms 94:20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? Right? And that's what they're doing. That's what they do today. Right? They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. And the innocent blood, that's the Israelites. But the Lord is my defense and my power. It's the rock of my refuge, right? But the innocent blood going deeper is the elect, the 144,000 and 1/3, right? The ones that truly fear the Lord. But the Lord is my defense and my power, is the rock of my refuge, and he shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness, right? Yeah, the Lord our power shall cut them off. So going to, now I'm going to go to this is Ephesians 5 verse 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. I'm just going to keep going, but that was the point. Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual